drone? I believe it, a shot didn't clear him though, didn't clear him into the corner. So Victor does get the volley that was intended for him. It's going to be pushed back and away. Ethan also feeling the heat, it's been turned up. Wild now this play, Jorgamo with the bucket in his hand, he's even dodged the flash! APM off the bloody charts from this guy, and now wants to pave the way. Committing one of the blades, we're moving away from that task. Nades flying through and forwards. This is a site that's going to be gained now for them, and they're already getting that plant down. Demon 1, take matters into your own hands here. A chance to really wrangle back Fate and Control. Crashes with the firing line. Making sure that nobody can really take it. Adjustments. Right! Jorgamo! Goodness me, man! What is that?
Okay, I thought I'd start off this video with some good Valorant, some really good Valorant there from Jorgamo. Don't get used to it in this video. Don't get used to it. Let's talk about some things off the top. Right? We all know why we're here. We're here to talk about NRG. We're actually going to take a look at least one round from all three maps. And here's the thing about NRG. We're not going to look at their defense sides. Their defense sides are whatever, right? They're not like necessarily good, but they make an average amount of mistakes, right? They look like a normal team when they play defense sides. It's whatever, right? We're going to take a look at their attack sides because their attack sides are not normal. Now, before we get into, the blame game, and of course everyone is, saying everyone, it's this person's fault, whatever. It's not just Ethan's fault, or Demo1's fault, or Chet's fault, or whoever, right? It's a team fault, because everyone on this team has won an international tournament in this game. Everyone on this team is experienced enough and is good enough to where they should not be this bad. So it's not just a one-person thing, it's an everyone thing. With that said, let's actually dive into some of these games then. And you know what? Ascent is rough. This is rough. Weirdly enough, Lotus, even though they won 6 rounds, this is more rough than you might have expected. This is rough, and we'll get into that. Let's first actually, though, start with a round on Sunset, where this wasn't as bad on the whole. But there is one particular round that is like the poster child of what is wrong with NRG. Okay, so let's take a look at it then. And it's this round, round number 21. And in this one, you know what? It starts off whatever. Right, and I will just say off the top, and I don't think any of these are as bad as Bind versus Leviathan. If you're expecting it to be that bad, it's tough to be that bad. So it's not as bad, but there is a lot of bad. So, look, they start off with a KO knife. And look, we've smoked mid. We're just milling around doing nothing. This is classic NRG. Right, we wait for our smoke to go before Ethan just walks out in mid. Right, it's like classic stuff. Demon 1's just chilling, Victor's just chilling, Crashies is chilling, Marv is chilling, Ethan's just walking up on his own. It is already kind of like what is going on. Ethan, now this is something that's rare for NRG. He's actually looking for a Cypher Cam. So he's looking to destroy Sentinel utility. Not something that they often do, as we'll see from some of the clips. But, he's just in here on his own. These guys haven't moved. We're 106 in the round. He's just shooting a bit. He then gets stunned. He's then going to get prowled. He's then going to get seized. He pops his KO ult, right? He pops his KO ult, and you might be like, what the hell is he doing? Pops his KO ult because he thinks that EG are about to try this kind of mid-crunch, right? That he's about to get absolutely bombarded by everyone. And again, he's KO ulting at this point. Let's just look at what everyone else is doing. So Ethan has popped his KO ult thinking that they're about to do this, right? That they're about to just smack him and send utility everywhere. And he set the KO ult to stop them from doing that. Are we moving on A? No. Are we moving on B? No. Crashies still hasn't moved. It's tough, man. It's tough out here. So okay, they KO ult, they don't get mid crunched on. And then finally we're gonna start to move. About 50 seconds. Victor's put his camera here on B. He's not really moving, but Demon1 finally starts with one Gecko flash. He comes across here. Now, okay, we've taken a bit of space in towards A. We actually boombot down here on A as well, right? So Demon1 has sent his boombot, I think, out this way as well, right? We haven't seen anyone. So of course the call comes in, as we haven't seen really anyone on A, and Demon1 is starting to make some progress. The call comes in, let's go B. You might be like, why is that the call? I don't know. I mean, Victor has started to clear up B main as well, right? The call is, for whatever reason, let's go B. So we end up in this spot where we're doing just a full B main exec, and they shut the door here. There's 34 seconds left, so time is running low. You know, Ethan throws his KO knife in there. He actually comes then back once he's revealed himself. He's like, well, I'm on my own here. So he then comes back. So we're now just doing a full B exec with, you know, basically no time. Our Raze is lurking on the other side of the map. You can already tell that this isn't going to go that great just from like what we're doing here, right? And Demon 1, I mean, these guys aren't really making that much noise yet, right? These guys haven't moved from mid, right? Like everyone on NRG at this point, we're still looking at mid because that's the last noise that they made, right? The last noise they made was destroying this door and Ethan throwing his KO knife. So EG is still focused in mid. But Demon 1 thinks that this is the timing, I guess, and just decides to walk out. They still haven't really made any noise here. And our lurking Raze is a free kill. Now, actually, again, because this is a Raze, it confuses EG a bit. Because they're like, oh, that's their Raze. It must be coming A. As you might suspect. But no, so you see these two start to move. Well, they didn't realize they were playing against NRG. Right, so that means nothing. A lurking Raze on the other side of the map, that means absolutely nothing. They then smoke off B because they kind of have to. They don't really have time to, like, you know, wait for Jorgmo to go as well, thinking that this might be an exec or whatever. Not that they would ever do that anyway, but now they're just about to do an exec, again, with no duelist, just running in B through a smoke. Good luck.
So I was saying, Victor, that's Demon 1, of course. Yeah, spraying it. And praying with it. The blinds, just immaculate.
Let's come to Ascent now, which, again, they ended up losing this 10-2. This is actually, they won the pistol round in the second, so we're actually going to take a look at, you know, the rounds that they win here as well. I think some of the Lotus rounds are worse than Ascent. I know that sounds weird, but we'll get there when we get there to Lotus. But yeah, let's take a look at this one then. So, pistol round in this one. And, you know, you would have thought that, like, this is a set strat, I guess. You know, pistol rounds, you know, tend to be, you know, somewhat a set strategy, perhaps. But I don't know if this is or not. But anyway, Smoke comes in mid. We drone mid. Demon 1 comes up mid. Looks like we want to do a B split. All is well, right? All this is fine. Now, we leave Demon 1 completely alone. He destroys the alarm bot. And, okay, at this point, we're at a fine position, right? Like, nothing is too weird. It is a little weird to have your Jet, like, completely alone here because, you know, like, how do you clear this, right? How is he going to clear market on his own? Like, other than just, you know, walking up and dashing away if someone is there, basically. Like, that's kind of it. And that's basically what happens. They then just chill for a while, you know, get the idea. They take the ult on B, start shooting in B as well, right? So make some noise towards B. I guess the hope is just, you know, hope that Demon 1 finds space and gets a kill, right? Surely we have a better plan, though, than that. But that's honestly what that's what it looks like, right? The plan looks like we're going to make noise here and just hope that this guy can get a kill on his own, completely unsupported by anyone, which I don't really get. Because then you would think what they're going to do eventually, and it ends up being a good B exec, right? We're not going to see a lot of that. Don't get used to that. But it ends up being, you know, like nice flashes and they get kills. Good, right? But you would think like, okay, if our plan is just to go for this B exec and we got our Jet here, you would think like once he's got to this point, right, where he's kind of like cleared market. Okay, he can't quite clear this like close corner, but you know, he's cleared a good portion of it. You might think like, oh, he's going to use his one Jet smoke this. He's got his dash active. He's going to dash, and then they're going to bombard, flash, you know, Silver Dart, all that, right? And you might think that that would make some sense, right? Once he's got to this point. They're not going to do that. He's just going to continue to walk here and just take a dry 1v1, right? And I get it. He's a good player, right? And he has good aim. And we see this in parts in this game. He still has good aim. But I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one feels a bit weird because now we're just doing a B main exec. Like all of it is just a bit weird, right? Like, why is he on his own? You know, why couldn't someone else be here with him, right? Why did 4 players also need to go back to B main? Why did Crashies need to go back to B main? Why isn't he here with his Jet? I don't know. like I say, they're doing a B exec. Why? There's just so many things that could go wrong, right? Like I say, if someone is in market, if someone is tucked close to market in the corner, he's just dead. Like, he's dead no matter what. No matter what happens this round, I don't see how he wins that fight. They then do this B exec, and this is going to end up being, again, pretty good. Don't get used to it.
Shut down his counterpart.
As soon as the alarm bot was broken, still looks like NRG don't want to slow down this hit, but still anchoring players to deal with. Apoth blind as a bat, and Derek dealt with towards the back. So, an open plant now for them. NRG being able to get themselves into that post plan, but they've already lost control of the front section of the site. This is a fast re-clear. But Jorgamo, nature right behind him, not too much util, but he spots out the shoulder, a couple of stray shots, not really doing the job.
It's actually the paranoia on Marv I'm looking at.
He's still holding it. As soon as they collect that contact, and he's going to send it flying, so it pushes them back for but a moment. Enough damage done, softening up all the targets. NRG walking away with a nice...
Okay, now let's actually take a look at the other attacking round that they won, the second round, which they end up winning against a bunch of classics. But again, you could instantly see problems, right? So, EG, they start off with the one-way smoke. They get a bit aggressive here with the KO knife as well, right? Okay, they get a bit aggressive. The drone actually comes out. I don't actually think it sees nature. You know, Superman gets tagged by it. He goes down to 1 HP. Actually just about lives there. Sure, whatever. They destroy the KO knife that they threw here, NRG, in B main. So there it is. It gets destroyed. I'm pretty sure just there. It looks like Derek also misses a dot. But, okay, we come back towards mid. Right, we're just against a bunch of classics. Nature's just chilling here. Out towards A main. They come back towards mid. All is well. We're slowly walking, slowly. You know, don't do anything fast. That would, you know, don't want to give ourselves a heart attack. Wait for our smoke to fade. Okay, Victor sees one across here towards short. Okay, cool, whatever. Right, they get up to this point. They're walking there, and now the call comes back to come back to A main. And this is what something I just don't get. Right, like, I don't get it. The only thing I can think is, okay, group up against a bunch of classics. No, that's fine, right? Like, that's okay. I don't necessarily hate that, but we've seen them be aggressive in A main. These two, all this time, have just been chilling back here, right? If I just come back on, like, you know, we're back to, like, you know, when nature is still up here, these two are just chilling. They aren't taking A main control. They don't know what's going on in here, right? They are just chilling, and yet they still call them back, come back to A main. Right, and waste the 20 seconds shift walking back here as well. That's what I don't get. And okay, they are going to win this round. They're against classics, but if this was against rifles, and the map looks like this, that's not great.
How bad can it really get?
There really shouldn't be much danger.
3 players spotted with that knife, but there's only 30 seconds in NRG. They can't really pivot.
And Jorgamo pre-aiming for the dart position here. A couple of shots now fired into the smoke. They realize.
Why am I already worried?
Yeah, I mean, this one stacking all the players dash forwards into the smoke and dominating the position. Steam1, who's just going to be leading the charge for his team. They are lit up. Util is nice for him, but Jorgo are now stuck into this dice position. Time, 12 seconds. Got to deal with these players. Got to get the spike down or just kill them all.
Okay, let's skip ahead to round number 6. And this was clearly a part of EG's game plan that, you know, they knew that NRG would be readable like this. But what's going to happen, we're going to focus on Victor in this one because EG are going to go for this double push B main here. And this is something that happened to Marv as well over towards the A side when he was alone, right? That basically, if you don't hear anything early out towards your main, and we already kind of saw it on the pistol as well from EG that second round, you can double stack, get aggressive like they're going to do here, and eventually, you know, Victor or Marv, whoever it is, will probably just run into you and, you know, give you a potential, you know, kill here. So like it does here, right? So we're double stacked in here. EG did this multiple times on both sides of, you know, A main and B main, you know, just waiting for Marv or Victor to do basically this, right? And they punish them pretty heavy for it. And yeah, here's one example where we double stack, we punish them, we know it's coming, good from EG, right? Then we're gonna get, again, just one of many AXX we're gonna see here that just aren't great. They're just always getting stopped by util. Always, right? This time it's gonna be a KO nade, and others it's gonna be a KO knife. Like, the KO util obliterated these A hits.
Exit strategy in the back of his mind. Superman is going to let loose the one smoke. The nade follow through. Updraft with the knives. No one really ready for it. Nature, though, will respond, following through, all with the spray. Only claiming 2.
The rest of NRG should have been able to get the trade kill there onto Nature early on. And now Apop with the ultimate. And then Ethan is so perilously weak. Do you even commit the Hunter's Fury? They are going to.
Yeah, they're going to. They want to see if they can win this one round, and everyone does count at the end of the day here in Ascent, but to leave it just out of Crashies. Shot data cleared away. Maybe he can get onto the angle, but it's already being stuck all the way here by Apop. And the dodging and the juking. EG not leaving any.
Okay, now let's start getting towards the end of Ascent. So let's come to round 8 here. This is when, you know, things really started to kind of like completely break down. EG, they're going to start off with this kind of Leviathan play, the tiles Odin spam right here. You know, doesn't find anyone. Cool, whatever, right? And now we're just going to see, this again is going to be classic NRG. You see, again, we got this idea of, you know, we're going to punish Victor here. You see Jogmo and Apot there ready to punish him again for getting too aggressive in B main. But now let's see what goes on, right? KO knife comes up here. Drone comes out through mid, right? We drone. We don't see anyone. You don't destroy the alarm bot. They've already seen this alarm bot pistol round. That, you know, they've seen it. It's been there on a lot of these rounds. Actually, they barely destroyed it in a lot of these rounds, and they don't in this one either. And that's going to be a problem, right? Because then they start posturing towards short. Okay, and again, this is fine, right? There's a minute left on the clock at this point. Okay, we're starting to make our first foray, you might say, into what we're trying to do. We come up towards short. We slowly clear the cubby. You know, we throw this little flash just here. Okay, we hear Odin spam coming back here from Derek. Oh, yeah, let's not run through short, you know, with the Odin spam. That's not a good idea. You know, EG then re-clear it with the KO knife just here against the wall. And it's like, okay, what are we going to do? So we don't like the A short stuff. Now, again, had we taken the time to come up here and actually destroy this alarm bot that's been there multiple times, you know, maybe at this point we'd just be like, oh, KO knife is there. You know, this guy's Odin spamming. I'm not sure if they do know if it's the silver or not, but, you know, let's just quickly do a B split, right? Like, if this alarm bot is down, let's just go. Even with the alarm bot up, you might assume that this would be kind of your first reaction, right? That's something that you might try, you know, like, oh, pressure short, come back this way. And it does kind of look like Crashies is thinking about coming B main, and maybe that was going to be the call. Instead, again, this I do not understand. Instead, guess what? Guess what our call is here somehow. It's group up A main. There is 43 seconds left. The map looks like this. I'll call this group, let's go A main. How is this the call? Like, again, I'm going to show you Marved. Let's watch Marved here in his position this round. Okay, I'll come back to the very start of the round. Let's do 5-second intervals. He starts there. Look at him go. Why is our call come back A main when you've got no idea what's going in A main and 40 seconds left? And then again, you see this, right? Ethan comes all the way back. He comes back to come A main. And then comes back to Demon 1. So we've just left Demon 1 here. Like, if someone swung on Demon 1 here, Ethan wasn't there with him because he's walking back to A main and then walking back to Demon 1. Right? Then now here, at this point, there's 29 seconds left. If someone is in wine in this round, which again, there is no reason why there can't be. If someone is in wine in this round is already over. Because they're not going to use any util for it. And the spike is coming this way, right? So they would just lose instantly. And they have no idea. And they have no time to pivot away from that idea either. How was this the call? I don't know. And again, they end up in this round. They're going to end up trying to come through short. They're going to lose the first kill, and they're going to lose to a silver ult.
Not even the alarm bot being removed. And so they're going to have to go for a bit of a mad dash now and scramble into these players. Doubled up Superman alongside it. Derek, he's going to provide that cover and fire. Just a hail of lead that's going to be raining down onto them, but NRG do get access eventually to the site. Barely with any time left. Hunter's Fury. One connection follow through. Can't quite claim the second kill, but they all line up. Derek! It's a masterpiece in motion. And now surely set up for the EG win onto the retake. Marved, Iceman, stands his ground, repositioned down into hell, but it's just being assailed from the position. Victor from the side, cleaned up with the...
And just a quick note as well, something that I forgot to mention just before I showed you that round, is as they're starting this exec, right? So Crash is about to silver dart here. 25 seconds left. Look how much util EG have left, right? Still got our jet dash, 2 smokes. We've still got, you know, Sova shocks. We've still got a KO nade and a KO flash. We got all of our Omen util pretty much. We, you know, the turret has actually come back up for APOT. That's something that I don't think NRG realized can happen, apparently. They haven't destroyed the alarm bot. They haven't destroyed these now. So it's like, How do they have that much util left with 25 seconds left? Okay, now round number 10, and this one starts off fine, right? This is going to be a tough loss. Again, we're going to see just, I think, slightly on different pages of what we're doing. Hey, we start with we take A main. We took some space in the first 10 seconds of a round. Oh my god. Right? Oh my god. And hey, look, the call here, take A main, grab an ult orb, get a KO ult, come back B. This is a call that Sadak loves. Sadak loves taking A main, just running back B. He's a good IGL. It's a good call. We'll see that it has benefits. Taking A main here first and then coming back to B. Right? This is all fine. Okay? Then they're going to avoid this drone here, you know, from Derek, other than the Killjoy. It could be an opportunity to go and contact walk in behind that drone that, you know, has only seen a Killjoy. But okay, whatever. We drone. We want to just go for a Killjoy lockdown, take the site. Okay, sure. This is fine. Right? Nothing wrong with it. Right? And we're going to take an ult for Crashies, and he's going to get Silver ult as well. Right? So we have now Killjoy ult, into KO ult, into Silver ult. Right? Okay, cool. Demon 1 actually has the spike here. He's dashing in. He clears the site. He's going to get the spike down right now. Right? And again, this, I quite like. Right? I actually quite like this idea. Add time pressure to this. Right? If our Jet has the spike, so the spike is going down early. Right? And then we're going to KO ult you. Well, you can't do a retake whilst you're KO ulted. So that's even more time. And we have a Silver ult. So that's even more time. Right? So this spike, the time pressure is going to be real in this round. And because we took A main, look at this. Right? People sticking around on A because there could be a lurk there as well. Right? So time pressure is big in this round. But what happens here in the post plant is kind of weird. Because I'm pretty sure Victor, he was just standing here. I'm pretty sure he's doing a lineup to get a nano on the spike. More time pressure. When I tell you that Ethan is here in B main and he's going to come and walk back here to do a KO nade lineup for the spike, time pressure. I mean, the retake is going on. Everyone else is fighting World War 3 and he's just chilling back here in B main doing a lineup. But, you know, time pressure. But then what's weird is, Crashies, of all the players, of all the choices of where he could go, he ends up coming onto site. Right? Whereas you would think, like, so much of the things that we're doing here, when I tell you we've got a nano on the spike, when I tell you we've jet dashed in to get the spike down as early as possible, you know, you've got KO ult, you're KO nading the spike as well. You would think the guy with the Silver ult is going to be the last bastion, winners the round, out here, chilling, Silver ult, round over. You would think. But that isn't the case.
Site is free because of the lockdown. But that's allowed NRG to keep two players completely off site for the post ban. It does look like a nice setup.
Victor, this guy's heard all the sound cues he needs to know right now to really do some serious damage. Hunter's Fury delaying Crashies, just trying to buy time for that win con that is Victor. Right from behind with the backstab now. It's been watched for!
What is that awareness? EG! They're tearing NRG to pieces. Picking up the weapons. I mean, one player back side. What can you really do? Crashies got to overcome a mountain of obstacles.
Okay, round 11 is tough.
Out of EG, or they're just going to lose space. But I don't think it's a full commit.
We're just sticking the full ult here. There's no use to the center one up. They don't know where these players are. Jorgamo's making a mockery of the situation right now, and it's all combined. The cross.
Yeah, this one's tough. And off a timeout as well. This is tough. This is really tough off a timeout. I mean, it starts with, I mean, it's just an exec, right? And again, EG have the read. There's 3 people here. Marv here, we have to talk about, like, what's the best way of playing Omen here? If you're going to Omen TP back here, okay, if that's your plan, if that's what the call is, you're going to Omen TP back here. I don't think Omen flashing and then doing it is the correct play, right? For me personally, if this was, you know, my team, I'm saying smoke this first, then TP, and then you use your flash because you might need it straight away, right? If we're going fast here, that would be what I would say. Not Omen flash, don't bother with the smoke, and then TP, so that now you're a sitting duck with nothing to do, and everyone else is a sitting duck because there's no smokes on the site. Right? That's personally not... that to me just doesn't make sense. Right? Just to clear this guy off A main. If these 4 players can't get rid of one guy on A main, that's their fault. Right? That's their problem. They should be able to do that. Okay? And so we end up in this scenario, and sure, probably even if he did have his flash, doesn't matter. Jomo's too close. it is what it is. You don't know the Jogma's going to be here. Unlucky. It is what it is. But then this, right? Like, I mean, the flash does go off there. You can see it. Honestly, what? How does that not blind him? I mean, looking at that, like, I did think, like, where is this flash gone? I guess, look, it just flashes there. So you might say the timing is a bit unlucky here, really. But again, so Demon 1, but again, we are just doing an exec with, I mean, Demon 1's suppressed as well, right? So he's suppressed, he can't dash, he's running in. Again, they're getting destroyed by KO util. Okay, that flash is a bit unlucky that literally, like, it's a frame off, you know, but then he's a free kill too. But then everyone else running in as well now has to contend with the fact that there's no smoke here, right? And so, I mean, it's good by EG, right? The flash is good, the dart's coming across the map. But again, it's been made a bit easy by the fact that Nature, I mean, like, there's no way you're going to win this round, basically, with where Nature is not being smoked off. And of course, they do lose. Now let's come to Lotus, which, as I said, to me has, like, more, like, absolute stinkers than Ascent. And somehow they won this map. To me, this one probably isn't as bad in your mind, because EG played well on Ascent. As we saw from some of those clips, EG were good. EG on Lotus were not good. But neither were NRG. And their comp didn't help them, and we'll get into that in a second. But straight away, we're going to start with round 4, the first full gun round. This, I already have a problem with what they're doing here. Because they did this a lot. What they're doing here is a double blast pack. Early kind of see, we're flashing this. We're not using any Gecko utility for some reason this time. They do in others, but I don't really get. Crashies doesn't even think to Dizzy flash this in this time, which is like, what are we doing? But they will for this quick, like they got the stim beacon down there as well. EG, I don't know EG's Lotus well enough to tell you whether or not this is something they do a lot. It's something Sentinels do a lot. I don't know about EG, but they weren't ever really there, right? They did a lot of these aggressive blastback plays like this. No one from EG was ever there. And so what we ended up doing this a lot in this game, where we just ended up with no blastbacks, right? How do you do a C exec with no blastbacks? How do you do a B exec with no blastbacks? I don't know. And we did this a lot. And we did this both on C and A sometimes at the start of a round, right? So, okay, we take early C control. Okay, no one's there. Cool, whatever, right? Plan didn't work, whatever. We open the door. We open the door again. I just want to quickly point out that Marv is staring here as if someone is going to walk up all the way on A just here. I just want to point out quickly as well, he has a trip that he hasn't used. That maybe he could have put it here and not worried about, right? And be somewhere else. I don't know. It's just a thought, right? Anyway, let's just carry on because they're going to keep opening the door and they're just going to posture up towards B. Right, and this is something, again, that NRG do a lot, where they, you know, they go towards a space. They actually use a Brim Smoke here on B, and then do nothing else. And they just end up walking back. Now, again, this Viper Wall, I'm pretty sure at this point, is up. So if they wanted to just come back the quick way to C and open the door, because they're going to end up going C, they could, if they wanted to. But I think that they don't know what they want to do at this point. Because you're going to see, eventually, you know, they destroy this Prowler on B. They're going to give the spike to Marv to say, you go to C. Demon 1 then gets hit by this spike am dart and has to pull it out, right? Our Brim is on C, right? This should be the first clue to EG of like, well, they're not going A. Because their Brim is here. That should have been like a pretty obvious tell straight away for EG. They actually don't fully use that. But just take a look at Crashies and Ethan here as well. I don't know why Crashies is just staring here off at A. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Either way, what's going to happen is eventually they decide to fake like they're taking A, right? And that consists of Ethan using one flash, right? So he just uses the flash there. He's here on A. That's what that consists of. EG, they're like a little rabid dog. They take the little juicy bait of one flash and go, oh, NRG must just be here. That must be their A reclear, one breach flash. And so EG start to move, right? You see these two on B, watch them. They're gonna start to move, right? Back you go there. Looks like we're heading this way. Derek, gonna start heading this way. And in classic NRG fashion though, They don't give this enough time to, you know, I mean, you can see they've pinged it here on the map as well. Super's pinged it. They don't give this enough time to, like, these players actually leave. Just as these players are about to leave, they then just jump into their C exec.
Know that this commitment's got to come. Lady Dizzy, though. Surely this clears the backside player. Apop's got a
Cage to play into it as well. Lit up Victor, going for another swing of things. You realize he wasn't really getting out of danger here. Calling for the pivot. NRG, fast now back through. Sees is a wonderful connection. That timing is elite right there. And Derek has locked them all into place, but you have to barrel your way through. It's brute force. It's the name of the game right now for NRG, and it's not good enough.
I don't know what you want me to say about this, but again, like, remember when we used those blast packs at the start of a round, and then we ended up doing a C exec like this? And again, I'll show you on the map, right? I will show you on the map. For those of you who didn't think, if you thought that Jogma was coming this way, he wasn't. He was on his way to A. And then they start this C exec. But again, they have no blast packs to take the actual site or, you know, deal with anything like that. So now, these guys are, you know, Jogma's now on his way to C. And we end up just running into that. And then we end up just panicking, running into B. And again, they've still got C's. They've still got an Omen Flash. I mean, it's just tough. It's a tough watch this round. It is a tough watch. Funnily enough, the next one I'm going to show, round 6, might be even worse. I'll let you be the judge. Okay, in this one, EG, they're going to go for the fast kind of A take. You know, they go and take out towards A just here. That's fine. Okay, they're taking towards A. We come and take towards C. Nothing wrong with this. Victor goes and grabs an ult up. Cool. Good for you. Victor in this round, and this happened in quite a few rounds as well, to be fair, he's like the little lonely kid who's playing with ants the whole time. Because he's just going to sit by them out here. You know, playing with his little ant friends, I think. Now, they're going to go, again, Victor, he's just chilling with the ants. They're going to go for an A reclear here, right? So they stun, they dizzy flash, they put down one of their brim smokes. Keep this in mind. The comp is going to not be kind to them in this round, right? So they come and they come, they take A, right? We take some control on A. Cool, this is fine. We then go back to this stance. I don't really, like, if you look at the map now, you know, there's 55 seconds left. I don't really get this. You know, this is where it starts getting a little weird of like, you tell me where they're going to end up here. Right, with our spike alone on B. Right, they actually bait out a fatal. Hey, we did something. We opened the door and it baited out util. We don't learn that lesson later on, and as you've seen in some of the clips, that's not something that happens a lot. But okay, we get fataled, so these two kind of have to just chill. You know, they have to just kind of back off here. You know, they're chilling. Again, our spike is alone walking down on B. Don't ask why. You don't want to know. We're then going to end up going for a B split, okay? And at this point, EG, you look at the map, they're a bit confused. You know, they don't really know what NRG are doing. Neither do NRG. But, you know, they're a little confused. You see Jogmo's rotating across the sea. They don't quite know what's going on. Like, they're like, where are they? You know, we just fade ulted 2 of them. Like, what's going on? But then we open the BC door, right? So we've seen 2 guys out here. EG. We've seen 2 people out here. And now you're opening this door. I wonder what the plan is. I wonder if the plan is to come to the site in the middle of the 2 of those things. Oh. Isn't that neat? And then we're going to run into comp problems here as well. Big comp problems. Okay, because you're going to see we Gecko ult this, right? So we are Gecko ulting down this way. Is there anyone to follow up on that Gecko ult, I hear you ask? Of course there isn't. What do you mean? Of course there isn't. Because here's the thing. They're playing this little agent called Brimstone. And they used one of their Brimstone smokes earlier on. So that means they only have 2 Brimstone smokes left. And guess where they put those 2 Brimstone smokes? Well, we're ending on the B site, so surely we're putting them here, right? Yes. That's where they do put them. One small problem with that idea, as the 2 brim smokes, you can see them right now. Here they are on the screen. 1, 2. We now have no smokes left. Tiny problem. just a small issue here. Is all I'm gonna say. And for those of you wondering what you should do in this situation, if you're in your ranked games or whatever, don't smoke off this, right? Let these guys face this. If they can't deal with it, unlucky, you have to smoke this. And probably smoking heaven is just the better option because it's a higher elevation. Those are the smokes you probably should go for, because if you don't smoke this, I mean, there is no words, right? What's going to happen is this. This is what's going to happen if you don't smoke that. You're just going to die. And look, and Super, like, he knows where Crashies is as well. And then we're lurking and see. Right, I'm going to pull it back for you to this point, right? And the camera is up here, okay? And I don't know. Marv doesn't destroy the camera, so they see him, right? The camera sees him. So watch these guys. Right, instantly they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" We're gonna get a wild goose chase over here with Marv, which just adds. I should play. If Yakety Sax wouldn't get me demonetized, I would play it to this round, because Marv is just gonna go running around. He he has 2 trips still left. You know, we've got 25 seconds left in the round. This is a full buy round. He has 2 trips still left that he's gonna use. You know, here and here and here or something. He still dies anyway, and they lose.
Entirely no detainment. Superman, he's taking out Demon 1. Marved, you're aware of the low possibilities, but again, he has to take matters into his own hands. Double face, running him down now. Just trying to use the trips to slow them in their place, but where is the ending here for NRG? Is it towards B? Only 10 seconds remaining. It's EG. They are just plucking them apart. Unraveling the thread that is this round, having to commit and stick this one, but there are no defense available. Not for Victor.
Okay, next one, round number 10. They're going to start with this little C default again. We just won Blast Pack this time, so we actually do have a Blast Pack. I mean, Marv starts this round playing Nuzlocke mode. He does eventually put down trips. I just thought it was funny. But now they're just going to do a C exec, okay? And this is like better than most of the rounds go, right? They actually get in onto the site. They don't get destroyed by util this time. Victor is on the site. He actually gets there. We actually follow him up. We're actually here planting the spike, right? Like, this is, wow, we got here. Okay, it gets denied. Wingman takes the nade for us. Okay, that's fine. We get fade ulted. Oh no. We actually do pick back up the spike though. Victor gets the spike. So, okay, not the end of the world. What they do next though, see, again, so most teams, I think, in this scenario, when I've seen teams, you know, end up in this kind of spot, which they have before, right? They just kind of stick around, right? Try and outlast the fade ult, because the problem that you have is that this guy has the spike. He's going to be the last one out, right? If you decide to just try and run out. He's going to be the last one out, and they have a raise ult as well, right? So if they want to try and flood back in with their fade ult, if that's what they're doing, this guy probably isn't making it out. The spike's going to get dropped on the site, and then everyone else is going to be out of the site, and you're going to have lost the round right then and there, right? That is a big, big risk. But they do just decide to get out of this and just, you know, quickly pivot back. You know, they get a bit lucky that EG don't try and, you know, fight this with the fatal. You know, they were just playing for delay. But then the thing is, a Prowler's going to come out and it's going to catch him here as well. And it's going to show like, oh, they're all running, right? And we can hear them running and the door is open. So EG, like, what you're about to see next, how does Ethan ever think this is going to work? I don't know. But it's funny.
Who's going to be leading the charge from Miss Ethan? Wading right into the trip. APOC, ult online, Nora.
And if you thought things got fixed for when they went to overtime, I mean, you must be the most positive person in the world if you think that that was the case. Because it wasn't the case. Let's take a look at their attacking rounds in overtime because they're no better. Right, here we go. We start with, okay, an early default towards B. We take some B control. EG come and take A. Again, nothing necessarily wrong with what they've done at this point. This is all fine. Right? They then decide to come over towards C as well. They're going to have B and C control. Hey, we're good, right? Prowler. Yep, we're on B. We come out towards C. We take some C control. We do have to use a Brim Smoke with it, which again, we've only got 3 of them. But, you know, okay. We take this control. We have now B and C control. Okay, this is where they know that we are. This is where they think that we are. Right? We then tap the door here. Okay, we then get revealed by that Fade Haunt as well. Right, so we've been revealed by the Fade Haunt just there. Derek is actually going to go for another Prowler just here as well. It gets shot. Okay, They know that we are still out towards C and there is someone out here towards B. Okay? That's what they know. Okay? So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're milling about. We're walking back. We're coming back. You know, we're coming back here again. Okay, we've gone quiet for now, for a bit, right? Just take a look. Take a look. We're going quiet again. Victor's making friends with the ants again. You know, he loves these ants. You know, he's just chilling back here. We've gone quiet now long enough, right? So we've gone quiet from C, and you know, we've gone quiet here as well. That hey, maybe they're coming back and retaking A, right? Maybe someone's walked out on A. E.g., you see again. Look, we're getting ready to leave. And then what do they do as soon as like EG are getting ready to leave? Look at the map right now. Derek has just turned around to look towards A. Jogmo is on his way over here. And what do? We signal the big beacon of we are out here still. We are here. We are not on A. Don't worry about A. We are here. Again, the only reason I can think that they are doing this is because Victor loves this mound. He loves this hill. That actually sounds wrong when I say it like that, doesn't it? But that's the only reason I can think. Because, again, they just give away the game. And again, did they destroy any Sentinel utility? Of course they didn't. Don't worry about that. You know, that's not a part of the plan here. We still got this Cypher Cam up. It can see that they are obviously coming towards this C site. Don't worry about that. We still haven't got rid of the C's nade here as well, because we haven't got rid of, you know, again, they got plenty of util to play with and stop us if we want. There's only 33 seconds left because we aren't doing anything. And so it ends up not going so well.
C's nade again.
That's
Possibility,
difficult.
yep.
C's catching Victor. Fully isolated away from that fight. At least with the cam to tag him, he's going to be backed away for a moment. Now over towards A. Guess what? Superman's time to shine. He's the one locking this one down in a slight off angle. They don't anticipate it. Flash. It's beautiful. All sorts of util being used to great success for EG. And there it is.
Okay, final one here, round number 27. And let's just take a look at this. So, again, double blast back on here. Keep this in mind. They are playing Brim, no Omen TP, you know, no one to help. Victor has to use both the blastbacks to do that, right? Keep that in mind for what's going to happen later on. You know, they're making a lot of noise here, right? They've seen a Boombot, they've seen Fade Util. Keep this in mind as well, right? That they've seen that Fade Util come from towards A. They've seen a Boombot come from towards A as well. And if you're wondering how NRG won 6 rounds and won this map and ended up winning an overtime round on attack as well, this is how. What you're about to see, this is how NRG won 6 rounds, if you're wondering, by the way. They won the pistol, they won against some ecos, and there was a couple rounds where EG did this, where someone was just standing in a bad spot and took a bad fight for EG, and they were in a 5v4. This is how NRG won some of their rounds, because as in that we've shown in the other rounds where EG are just chilling and waiting for NRG to exec on them, they won those rounds. These are the rounds they lost. Again, Derek, they are shooting at him here from this position, right? We just saw them shooting at Ethan from this position. So explain what happens next. Try and explain this. No blastbacks, don't forget. He doesn't have a blastback, to be fair. But the no util dry swing there is an interesting choice. Let's just put it like that. Okay? They then decide to pause. This, the camera gets destroyed right there. This is the funny part of the round. So they then decide to pause, and Marv is going to run back and, you know, go and maybe, hey, is he going to destroy this camera on C? Is he going to destroy some utility elsewhere, make it look like everyone else is pivoting across? Right? Is that what he's going to do? He's coming out to B. He's taking, you know, there could be someone here. He did have a camera here earlier, but he took it back. So, you know, someone could have maybe still be there. He could still be in some trouble. They then open the door again, you know, just to let them know. No, we're still A. Just to let them know. So Marv gets to this point. Is he going to go destroy the util on C? Where does he go? He gets up to his trip, takes a quick look. Is he going to go anywhere? We're still opening the door, letting them know we're still on A. Oh, I guess I'll just come back towards A. We open the door again. We open the door again. I wonder where they are. Huh. I wonder where they are. And yeah, they lose this round.
The back of their minds.
30
Have
seconds
to worry
left.
about the late lurk, but they can keep a lot of bodies anchored, rooted into place and position. Derek with the dizzy dealt with. Nature instantly there, swinging out wide. Derek seeking it, breaking it apart into pieces. Like a whirlwind, man, EG.
But yeah, there it is. It's a tough watch, genuinely. I mean, it's funny at times. You know, they do some funny stuff too. But it is tough. You know, it's tough. And I'm not rooting for the downfall of NRG or these players or the coaching staff or whatever, right? In one sense, it was an improvement from the Leviathan game. So, you know, I guess that's good. There were some rounds in here that weren't that bad, right? Like, you know, there's a couple of rounds at Sunset that are fine. You know, there's a couple of rounds on Lotus even that aren't that bad either, right? It's just that a team with this many good players just shouldn't look like this, right? They shouldn't look like this.